Good morning, guys. How's it going? Getting everything set up here. Great to see you guys all here. Lots of folks already on here. Eric, Bruce, Mike, Brady, Bruce, Chris, Paul, and Eric. Again, I love you guys. It's so awesome to see you guys here. Brady drinks in the morning. Eric, he drinks Dr. Pepper because he's from Oklahoma. And it seems like that's what Oklahomans do, even though I'm from Oklahoma and I drink the real stuff. So, uh, Garrett Anderson says vinegar. Roger Hurd, what's happening? Oh man, you guys are awesome. Chris Kinberg. Well, that might win the internet today. Coffee is for four-stroke riders. That's seriously, seriously good. I wish this camera didn't do this like thing, but whatever. Anyway, I don't got audio. Just stopping by Moto Caleb. That's too bad you don't have audio. Actually, guys, it's gonna get weird here for just a second because I'm gonna switch Wi-Fi networks, which always does something. There we go. I'm back now. Hey, there's my mom. Everybody say hi to my mom. Suzanne Spradling, excuse me. Mike Klinger, what's happening? Let's see. I don't think I've missed anything else. The you guys are awesome. Thank God for coffee. Absolutely, Bruce Kennedy. I agree. Um, isn't it always weird? Yes. Let me get my mic going. Has anybody here listened to the audio version of this thing? If so, let me know how it is. Um, anyway. All right. Welcome to the Gospel of Two Wheels, number one. What are we on? 152, I think. Where the coffee's hot, the bikes are fast, and your comments are absolutely ridiculous. It is awesome to see you guys here. TJ Cowan, I am so bummed. He says, "Good morning. I'm too beat up to race this weekend. It's been a great year of racing. Best of luck." First of all, thank you very much. And second of all, I'm so bummed out that you're not going to be there, but I'm also happy that you're going to take care of your body and do the right thing. Sounds like you had a bad one. I'm really bummed about that, dude. Yeah, really bummed. But thank you. And hopefully I can get this thing done and win this thing. Sorry that we can't make it a legit race to the end. But it was been a lot of fun racing you, dude. Got Andy all set up. So we've got his Recluse and Smart Carb on his YC250. So he's all fired up. Bruce Kennedy said your internet is buffering. That sucks. Sorry. Quick conditions report from Montrose, Colorado. We're back into doing conditions reports because things are changing. It's getting cooler, and we've been getting a ton of rain. Well, not a ton, but some rain. So conditions right now in our desert are absolutely perfect. I mean, brilliantly perfect. Mike Barnato, by the way. Hey, yeah, the dust is down, traction's up. It's really good out there right now. So yeah, if you're in this area or coming to this area, it's the right time of year. Let me see if I can turn this thing down. This light is driving me nuts. I don't know why it does what it does. It's the camera anyway. And yeah, Roger Heard, good to hear you. Give your head time to heal. It's a really, really important thing. Really important thing. So guys, I got lots of questions from the internet. So let's get right to them. First of all, Paul Anstey asked clutch plates, never change them. How do I know when they're done? 200 hours. I change the oil every 10 hours. She still pulls like new. Paul rides a Beta 300. By the way, yours is a cross trainer, right, Paul? I think. Anyway, I can't remember. It's either anyway, it's a Beta 300. So the official way to know that they're done, Paul, is to measure them. You take them out. The X trainer, yeah. So is to measure. Well, I don't know how Beta does it. Some companies will have an overall measurement of the whole clutch pack, like steels and frictions all together. And if it's too small, like if it's worn too much, then you replace them. Some will have per friction plate, which I think is better because sometimes you get one friction plate that'll wear weird, or two or three, whatever, and you can just like swap them out. But either way, whatever your manual or online, figure it out. I don't know if betas come with a good manual or not. They probably do, but take them out, measure them, and let you know. I could say probably it's fine. I've run clutches. I've had clutches in 300s last like 300 hours without any kind of issue. So is this where I can buy the Kyle Brotherson giveaway tickets? Wrong number. Jimmy Nyhart, I love you so much. Oh my gosh, it's so good. By the way, I really want to offer that. Not a free bike. Well, I'd love to offer a free bike too. That'd be really cool, but I'm pretty far from that. But I would really like to offer a trip for someone to come here and ride. And I need to figure out how to do that financially, how to afford to fly someone here. I've got bikes that they can use. So we could do that. But anyway, that is something I really, really want to do down the road. And I think, Kyle, that's a great idea that he's got there. So, but Jimmy Nyhart, you're my favorite. Paul Anstey, plates are cheap, $200. May as well make it a winter project. So yeah, they are cheap. But if you do springs also, and do fibers and steel. So if you're going to bother, just do all of it. And it's still relatively inexpensive. So, but just start with, just buy everything. Plate, fibers, steels, and springs, put it all brand new. It's a super easy job. I've got a bunch of videos on it. It's pretty simple. Jeff Elmore, how's it going? Garrett Anderson, if you ride a 450, you don't need to use the clutch. Lasts forever. The problem is if you have a 450 and you get in the rough stuff and you use the clutch, it wears them out really fast. Roger Hurd picked me to come ride. Heck yeah, dude. Bike Vault coming in. Jeff Greenwood from Thailand. Good morning. I snapped my Electron throttle tube where the cable comes out. I have the original Mikuni tube. Will it do the job? I don't know, man. So you bought it came with a whole throttle assembly. I'm guessing for your bike. Probably it won't, because they usually with Electron, we'll go into the Electron thing here in a bit, because I have something to say about that. But they usually send you with like a domino style or an actual domino throttle, and the Mikuni, the one that came, won't work. So you'll have to get that throttle tube. It's not, by the way, it's not proprietary to Electron. It's proprietary to that thing. So you have to figure that out. Do you have any group rides planned late October, November? A few friends and I are looking to get out of Minnesota for a few days. Want to do some good riding. Yes. Rex Hammerschmidt, our annual turkey burn. I'm glad you said that. Annual turkey burn is coming in November. It's the day after Thanksgiving, where we give the proverbial middle finger to Black Friday and the stupidness of standing in line and buying junk, and say, come ride dirt bikes with us instead. And usually the weather is absolutely perfect for that here. Where you go to Dry Creek, ride a bunch of hard stuff. It's really fun. So, but we, I just saw Torque Line's comment. You guys are going to love it. If you're watching this later or you're listening to this, wait for it. It's good. So yeah, that's what's happening in October. Nothing, I don't have anything planned that's in November, obviously. I don't have anything planned in October, end of October. I'm just going to be hanging out with my family and riding locally, because I've been doing obviously a lot of stuff. It's been craziness. And then at the beginning of November, we go to Oklahoma to race. So the Waco, Texas, what's happening, Jesse Lacia? So Torque Line, which is Mr. RK Tech, says, were you a 70s porn star? The mustache has me thinking this. I don't know. Does it look pretty good? I think it's awesome. Clutch. My 350 specced out perfect, but the frictions were glazed over. It smelled burnt. It was slipping. Replacing with a Henson. Bought it at a great price from Highland Cycles and Butter. Yeah, Jimmy Nyhart. So yeah, back to the clutch thing, Paul. I do like Henson plates. If they make a setup, if they make a clutch kit for your bike, I really do recommend that over stock. They make amazing parts. Also, the what Jimmy said about being glazed is definitely a thing. It sounds like your clutch is perfect. So, but like I said, you're going to do it anyway. Hey, Mike Coles, I'm going to have a braptastic day. Thank you so much. And oh yeah, Roger Hurd mentioned that I am going to Arizona for New Year's, and that's going to be awesome. Rick Roman, good morning. What does he say? Good morning. I had ride yesterday and busted my shock and swing arm length. Oh dang, dude, that sucks. It's out on the KTM. I've heard that happening. Ed Dugan, Morgan, I do one of those balance bikes for winter practice. Is it cool if I steal your design? Absolutely. It's not my design. It's John Kramer's, and yes, you can steal it. He'd be happy to have you do that. Let's see. Chuck Ackley, what piston kit do you recommend for my 18300XC? Vertex, hands down, Vertex. Get a Vertex. My mom says, yes, can't wait for the gold rush. Think muffins. If you're coming, think muffins. Because my mom makes muffins, and she's going to have to make a bunch this year. There's going to be a bunch of people. Thomas Miller, 2017 250E. I'm guessing that's EXCF. Throttle started bogging when I twisted halfway, nothing. Twisted a lot, and a big hard hit comes on. I have inline filter and tank filter on the way. Anything else I should look at or consider, like injectors or anything? Thomas, I think the filter should be fine, but you know what? You might have to deal with the pump. It seems like a lot of those 4-stroke bikes, when the filters get clogged like enough to do that, it hurts the pump too. So just be prepared. You might have to get a new pump. And you can buy the aftermarket ones, and they actually work really good if you do a good job of replacing it. But just know that is a thing. Jimmy Neihart, there he is, coming. Says RK is here? ? Why do I have pipe bang on D-cell? Oh, Kelsey, he's doing that to give you a hard time. If you ever meet Jimmy Neihart, which I hope that everyone here does someday, you'll realize that he is a ball buster and one of my favorite people. So, and Thomas Miller, I will be at the Pajarito race, so come say hi. You can't miss the giant red van. Rick Roman 91 CR250. Oh, to find parts not easy. Dang, that's tough, dude. I'm sorry to hear that you broke that. That sucks. Hey, there's Biker Sasquatch. What's happening? Yeah, 34 to get up. I'm like, yeah, thank you, guys. Thank you, Mike Barnato. If you're currently watching this and having a lot of fun, which I hope you are, then back out of the chat, give a thumbs up, and come on back in, because it really does help us a lot to get lots of thumbs ups. And quick plug, if you share this with people, it really does help. So if you're having fun and you like this conversation that we get to have every Thursday, go ahead and share this with your friends. Tell them to join us. Brady Metter says, RK, how's the FMX suspension? So he's Brady did the suspoosh for Mr. Kelsey Manning. And I haven't seen Torqueline jump in here, but by the way, guys, if you see Torqueline pop up on there, that's Kelsey from RK Tech. Let's see, Chris Nelson. Hey, what's happening, Chris? Good morning, Morgan Spradling. Make Ruth famous. Yes. Leia is a great alligator substitute. Leia is a great alligator substitute, 100%. Always a good time. Torqueline. Love it, dude. Torqueline comes back. Jimmy, make sure you check all forums and YouTube videos for expert opinion. Mike Barnato, talk Yamaha. So we are going to talk Yamaha actually right now, because Garrett Anderson, how many hours is too many hours on a chassis, even with good maintenance? That is a really good question. And I don't know that there is a too many hours on a chassis. I would say that when bearings start to like fall into place and not need to be hammered or pressed out, that's when something's got to go. But honestly, it's, whatever. There you go, Mark Barnato. Depends on what happened to it. Yeah, the chassis. So Garrett, just maintain the crap out of it. And if it ever gets to the point where things, either aren't lining up or bearings are falling out, then yeah, new bike day. But Garrett Anderson, oh, I love you guys. You guys are awesome. So Jamin Richards, or I think it's Jamin, Jaman Richards. How much does it cost to do the valves on a 2013 KX250F? Generally, through us, if you bring us a motorcycle, say do the top end, including valves, we give it back to you, and it's between $1,300 to $1,500, depending on the price of the valves and if we have to do any machine work and stuff like that. So that's cam chain tensioner, valves, piston, rings, gaskets, all the labor, everything. So that's about it. Oh, Torque Line coming in with bike stand tuning and plug color will tell you all you need to know. I love you, Kelsey. By the way, Kelsey, I cannot tell you how well my bikes run. It's so good. What's up, Jay Coleman? How you doing, man? Warm frame makes for balance bike. There you go, Bruce. Absolutely. Probably need to do my 450 soon. You probably do, Garrett Anderson. Have an RK on my 21 250 TPI. Every time I clear a gnarly rock climb, I yell, RK, son. Dig it. Yeah, dude, it's so good. Bruce Kennedy, seeing that TT with no head. Oh, yeah. No head bolts and broken spark plug. It is okay to tell a customer thanks, but no thanks. Yeah, so that guy brought that in and a big bike, a 450, to be worked on. And actually, the 450 is really nice. And I think what happened, because I'm not 100% in on that deal, because Leandro checked him in and Zach's the one working on it. But I believe what has happened is that he was either given that or found it or something like that for super, super cheap and wanted to know what was going on. And he actually knew, I didn't know, but he knew that the head bolts were gone. So someone else had thought about taking that off to get the spark plug out. So anyway, it's not quite as like ridiculous as I thought originally. I mean, it's still ridiculous, but the owner of that bike knew how bad it was and just kind of wanted to know what it was going to cost. Torque Line, by the way, Kelsey, we need to talk because this winter I'm going to rebuild my 300 crank and everything, and I want a piston. So we'll talk here soon. So I'm still a ways out from doing that, but because I got some hours left. So before I need to. So, all right, let's get to, I got one more question here on the line, then we can just hammer away. And then I do want to remind me people to talk about electrons versus smart carbs. Cause I finally got real honest, like ends on anyway, it's good. CC, right. What's up? How's the fall foliage around your neck of the woods? My wife and I were in Crested Butte last weekend and it was brilliant. It was arguably some of the best I've ever seen. It was our anniversary, 22 years. Yes, please say congratulations, because to me, it's very important that people stay married and work hard to do that. And so I'm very proud of what we've done. So anyway, I get a little choked up. I love my wife so much. And anyway, fall foliage is amazing. It's going by fast though. Max Balog, running the custom piston and head of my 300. I'm loving it. Yes. Awesome. Let's see. Torque Line. I'll get to that question. So anyway, DT Wild 85 on Instagram says 2 questions. How exactly is a race like the one at Pajarito done? Is it a certain number of laps or do as many laps in a certain time frame? So to that question, the Pajarito is a hare scramble. So it is as many laps as you can do in a certain amount of time. C racers are like an hour 15, as many laps. B, A, and Pro is 2 hours. So, and you just all start on your class line and take off, race for 2 hours. And it's 2 hours based on the leader. So anyway, if you come in at like an hour 59 and 59 seconds and cross the line, you get another whole lap. If you come in at 2 hours on the clock, then you're done. So there's that question. Then, and do you think a KX450 could do the Pajarito race with the stock tank, or would it need to be larger? Thank you for your time. So KX450 In the C class, I don't know how fast DT Wild 85 is. So I don't know what your skill level is, but in the C class, hour and 15, you'd probably be fine on a stock tank on the KX450. I don't think you'd be good in the 2-hour race, but lots of people pit. So you don't have to go buy a bigger tank. You could just come in and pit and go. So, and probably not lose too much. So Torque Line, Kelsey said, did you determine that you had more time left on the piston by visual piston inspection through the exhaust port? No, Kelsey, I did it by the fact that I know how often I change my piston out, and I'm just not there yet. Brady Metter, he's got plenty of time on the 300. It hasn't blown up yet. Yes, I love you, Brady. That's so true. Thank you, Biker Sasquatch. Bruce Kennedy. Ruth is very special to be married to someone who loves dirt bikes. She is very special. Jimmy Neihart, does the TPIs with the RK head need remap? How do I tell if it does? Remember, I'm dumb and had lots of concussions. So that Kelsey, you should answer. I'm going to let Kelsey answer that. Max, what is the best way to determine whether you need a piston other than hours, of course? So Kelsey's coming in with a good one. What ring, end gap, and piston skirt measurement come in at via exhaust and duct inspection? So yeah, what Kelsey said, if you, like, for instance, if you got a bike that you don't know, like you bought a used bike and you like, what Kelsey is saying is good, is to ring, end gap, and all that. But what I would do, I mean, personally, if I buy a used bike, I just take the thing apart and put a top end in it anyway. That gives you a chance to inspect the crank and everything else and get a good look at it. So, and 2-stroke top ends are relatively cheap and easy to do. So that's what I would do. And you can measure the end gap like really well if you take it all apart, whatever. So, hey, Todd Colvin, thank you very much. Let's see. It absolutely would. Yeah, Garrett Anderson, the KX450 would actually absolutely make it if you pit. I love it. What's the custom piston from RK? I want to get ahead on my TM eventually. So, Kelsey, can you answer that? Like, I don't know, do you do one? Well, so Chris, I know that Kelsey can reconfigure your head that's on there. I don't know. I don't think he makes a new head, like a billet head for TM. I don't know though, but chime in, Kelsey. There you go. Garrett Anderson, I did Pajarito on a 450 FX with a stock tank. So, but the KX has a much smaller tank than the FX. But again, the C race, I think it'd be no problem. If in doubt, put a piston in it. Yes, Roger Hurd, I agree. Smart carbon, the tendency to flood the motor while sitting. What is up with that? Bruce Kennedy, a phenomenal question, and one that I really don't know, other than so I don't know why they do it more than like another, like electrons. I know why they do it. So here's the thing. Electrons and smart carbs do not have an overflow. They don't have like the little tube sticking up to overflow. So the gas comes out on the ground. So when it does overflow, because it can, it tips over or whatever, it runs into the motor. Now, why they do that just sitting there relatively straight up and down, I don't know, because I haven't dug into them that much. I don't know if they run a really high float level that keeps the gas right up near the venturi, or if it's because I don't know, but it is weird and it is a thing. All right, here we go. First of all, Brady Metter. Let's read his comments because Brady will be sad if I don't, and I love him. New bikes for the win, he says. Just don't buy old bikes. And this KX450 wouldn't make it on a stock tank, even with the big tank. It's close. Brady, yeah, that's also with a gorilla-sized human on it, holding it wide open. So, so Kelsey says, short answer is no. TPIs with Architect head do not require any remapping. They are an install and ride by design. I do recommend adjusting the exhaust valve to suit your riding style. There we go. There we go. Torque Line says, we reshaped several TM heads with great results. Do you make a custom piston for the TM, Kelsey? Kawasaki should be ashamed for calling the 450X a woods bike with that moto tank. I agree, Kevin O'Loughlin. Actually, I would just argue that most of the Japanese brands are like, come on, an FX and all that, they should put much larger tanks on that. Now, I know the Yamaha has an issue because the frame, the way they have their, anyway, it's kind of hard to do that with the way the motor is and all that stuff. So, torque line, all this remapping and do not adjust your power valve or simply scare tactics. I love it. Roger Hurd, wide open in first gear. There we go. Kevin O'Loughlin, I put the 2.7 on mine. Yeah, so that's good. But I wish they would put like the off-road bike should have a much bigger tank, like KTM's do. So I really, yeah, I don't know. I feel like that. So let's see if I've missed anything. And I think the general consensus is that the RK Tech head is like magical on two strokes. It's amazing. So, by the way, I am excited to race my 300 with its RK Tech head at Pajarito and not the 125 because we have some huge drag races up these big hills. And I am not, I mean, the 125 would get there and I think I could still do pretty good. But I just need to, yeah, I need more horsepower because I'm gonna try to get the freaking win this week. Really, really hoping I can do it. Yeah. So, let's see. I'm gonna make sure I didn't. So yeah. For long show, yeah, fair enough. Roger Hurd, we expect results. I agree. Let's see. It sounds like an excuse, Garrett Anderson. It is an excuse, and since I have two weapons, I'm taking the appropriate one. Biker Sasquatch, how many hours on the 125? 80 something, just over 80. I think maybe 82, something like that. Too many, Bruce Kennedy, too many vapors released with the larger tanks in EPA, fair enough. And Garrett Anderson, if you need horsepower, I can loan you a bike. I'm good. I like my 300. And the 450 is just too much motorcycle for me. I'm not man enough. Back to Smart Carb versus Electron. Sorry, just installed Smart Carb on a YZ250. I know Kelsey's going to jump in here maybe and yell about Smart Carbs and Electrons. I'm on board with him. I don't think they are necessary or any of that. Like, anyway, I wouldn't spend the money on one. I think you can make a normal Mikuni or Kian work better. But if someone was so inclined to buy one of those style carburetors, I now know that the Smart Carb is at least the SC2 is a much better carburetor than the Electron. It's just better. And I haven't run one and like I haven't really messed with one until now. I've kind of thought that the whole time, but I just hadn't ever touched one and installed it and fiddled with it. But the Smart Carb, again, if you're going there, it is way better. First of all, the ability to adjust it from the outside without having to take things apart is huge. Just the fit and finish of it is way better. I don't like plastic float bowls. Like I still don't know why Electron does that. It doesn't make any freaking sense at all. Yeah. So also huge, like this is back to bike faults thing. You don't have to buy a new throttle assembly. Like you just put it on. They make it so that the throttle cable threads right in, and you're good to go. Yeah. Anyway. Electron needs to get with the times if they're going to keep up. But the one thing is that the Smart Carb is a lot more money. The one that we just put onto the YZ250 was $750. So I didn't buy it. Garrett Anderson, whenever Morgan talks carbs, I can feel Brady's eyes rolling from another state. Agree. Must be nice to have all that stuff. Typical dealership owner. What do you mean all that stuff? My two bikes? And the Smart Carb's not mine. It's on a nothing. Oh my gosh. Jimmy Nyhart, best comments. My TPI with RK head runs like a fat kid chasing a cupcake. Way better than any dumb card. Boom. Oh, Nyhart, you're my favorite. And then Bryce Davis, I agree. It's not dumb to bring a gun to a gunfight. I'm with you on that. And so, yeah, and back to Brady's comment about must be nice to have all that stuff. That's probably going to be changing here real soon. I'm not going to go deep into politics, but my second income with Ruth is going to be ending real soon, thanks to our government. So that's awesome. So things are probably going to change. Like there'll probably be a lot less purchasing of cool stuff and testing. Sorry about that, YouTubes, but we're going to have to rely on people sending us stuff to test and send back or something like that. So yeah, it's a bummer. Mike Klinger, Smart Carb Electron, TPI, cool, I like it. Ian Frederick, I like the plastic float bowl. It makes it a lot easier to diagnose why my bike won't start when my float stick's closed. Fair enough, Ian. That is a good thing about that. But the first of all, I feel like honestly only Lectrons do that. Like Lectrons are always sticking closed, which is ridiculous. Torque line, yes, you can revive your porn career. It's never too late. I love it. Oh yeah, Brady Metter. My 450 runs like a fat kid chasing the taco truck. I like that. Thank you, Garrett Anderson. I'll try to help keep you afloat with my Baja prep. It's not going to be a problem, but it will definitely change things a little bit for sure. So yeah, it's going to be all right because yeah, it's going to be just fine because I put my trust in Jesus. I'll mention that too. Since I said something about politics, I'll mention that I put my trust in Jesus too, and I'm not worried. It's going to be fine. Torque line, what's your weight, Brady? 4,000 torque line. Just looked at the KTM fuel pump for that 17. It's 390 OEM. Yeah. Any aftermarket fuel pump brands that you trust more than others? Don't want to buy junk. Yeah. Quantum. Get the Quantum setup, Thomas. You can get them from anybody that sells Western Power Sports or who else? I think Tucker Rocky might have Quantum. Anyway, I buy them from WPS. So, or you can buy them directly from Quantum if you don't have a dealer. And Brady, I agree. Jesus does make the best tacos. Oh, I love it. Let's see what else. All right, questions. It's 8 o'clock. We can go a little late today because I don't have to get to the shop super early. Max Below, China makes a $7 clear float ball for the Keans. Ordered one for fun. Hopefully it'll be here by next year. Max, that's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. The clear float ball thing. I mean, I guess one thing that would be nice is you could see if there's dirt in there, and that happens. And yeah, RK, Kelsey, Brady's a big man. We need to try to get Brady onto a TPI with an RK head and fuel controller, because while I agree with Kelsey that you don't have to adjust fuel and all that stuff with an RK head on a TPI, I can say from experience when we did that to my buddy Andrew's TPI and actually did the fuel controller too, it made it like a freaking just a freight train. It's so good. Bruce Kennedy, I'm so excited. I'm not going to say what the package is. I know because I'm so excited. It's awesome. Thank you, Bruce. I'm so excited. Garrett Anderson, I'm going to be at the shop. So I'll be there by 9. You guys are awesome. Chasing tacos. Biker Sasquatch, politics, religion, and now Brady's weight. We're covering some bases. Yeah. Yes, I love it. It was so good. What other questions you guys have? And who all, if you're watching this, who all's coming to Pajarito? I'm excited to see you guys. I'll bring the TPI, Brady, bring the tacos. So, Nyhart, you should come to Arizona for New Year's, because that's what's going to happen. Like that's Brady. I'm trying to make Brady be there, and then you should come, and Brady will bring tacos to Arizona. It'll be awesome. Also, Brady, I'm guessing you're not coming up to Pajarito this weekend. You had talked about it, but then I'm guessing you backed out because of some stupid thing like family or work or whatever. I'm kidding. But what else is going on, guys? Dirt bike world. I'm trying to think of anything. Oh, we are finally slowly moving forward with our TBT dealership. Dr. Travis on Monday. We got some dates laid out for possible him coming out and training. Also, me going out and getting stuff, parts and things like that to get set up. So that is coming hopefully very, very soon. Biker Sasquatch, Oklahoma tacos in Arizona seems counterproductive. No, it's perfect. It all makes sense when you put it in the frame of motorcycles. Just got my 2022 125 XC. Yes. If I put an RK Tech head on, what are the jetting settings? Oh, KC, you're going to have to message me. I have it all down, but a lot more gas is the answer. I think I'm just going to stab at it, dude, right here. But if you want to message me on Facebook or email me at morgan@highland-cycles.com, I can get you my specs. But I think I'm running a 40. I think it's a 40 Pilot, which is a lot bigger. And then I think a 450 main, I think. But I can get you all that. I just can't remember. But also, well, actually, Casey, if it might be faster if you go and if you search on YouTube Highland Cycles, all one word, and then 125XC, you'll get to our playlist about all the stuff, and you can go look there because I know it's there. I can't remember. Bike Vault. I heard Triumph for spending a lot of money to develop an e-dirt bike. Really, I don't know, but I know they're spending a lot of money because they got Ricky Carmichael on board and all this other stuff. You guys are awesome. Yeah, I don't know, but it wouldn't surprise me. But you know what's funny about the British building anything electrical is, well, that's just funny to say. But because why don't the British build computers? Because they haven't figured out how to make them leak oil yet. So yeah, anyway. So yeah, Bruce Kennedy, Beta 200 went from a 162 main to a 175 and a 40 Pilot on a key from a 38 with an RK. So yeah, I think my 125 was like I think it's like a 32.5 up to a 40 on the Pilot, and then I don't forget what was in the main jet. I think I had it down to like a 410 or something like that, up to a 460. Bike Vault, we invented the TV. Yes, I know you're of Scottish descent. That is so funny. How did I? Yeah, you may have invented the TV, but if it was Lucas that helped in that, you know that he was the Prince of Darkness. So, and Biker Sasquatch, Brady bring chicken fried steak. That's Oklahoma, or fried catfish. So. I picked up a 21 gas EX350, way better power than the Sherco 300 SDFs I've had. Oh, cool. Right on. So that gas is, I'm guessing that's the KTM gas if it's 21. So, yeah, the 350 KTM platform is absolutely brilliant. I'm not a 4-stroke guy, but if I bought a 4-stroke, it'd probably be a 350. Keep in mind that on any small bore engine, you need to run more oil, 24-1, make sure your clutch does not slip. ATF. Yes, I agree. Way more oil in a small bore especially when you're holding it wide open. Hey, Jorge Villalobos, buenos dias. Scotch Irish to be exact. Yes. Oh, Mom, I was talking about the guy Bike Vault. He's like actually Scottish but living in Thailand. So yeah, he right. I think that's right, Jeff. And Jeff, to answer your question, I answered it on Facebook. But yes, please feel free to put a link to your YouTube page. You can do it here in the chat, or probably more appropriately do it in the comments later. And you can post it on Facebook all you want, because I'd love to check out that. So Brady needs a 125 torque line. I've tried to get him to come out and ride my 125 because I just want to watch it. I just want to see. I'll have a crank and everything ready to put it in the bike when he gets done, but I want to see it happen. Andy, do I have any time on a Sherco? I rode a good friend's 300. It's a 2020, so it's not the counterbalanced one, but it's the year before it, but it was really good, Andy, and it's why I'm considering a Sherco for my next new bike. Although the lack of ability to put a Kickstarter on there really has me like questioning that situation, and it's not. Yeah, my 125. I'll tell a quick story. I think most of you guys have seen it, but I'll tell it anyway. The 125 at the Shady Burrow. Electric starts working. It was brand new bike. 60 hours on it. It's in great shape. Everything's worked. Battery's up. Everything's good. Andy, yes, it was Ryan's 300, the Molecule. And so the morning of the race, I get up, start the bike, fires right up, run it, warm it up, great. Get dressed, go start the bike, starts great. Ride it over to the start of the race. I get to the start of the race and click, click, click. The thing doesn't work. Starter gave out. Well, actually, the wire. Anyway, whatever. It quit working on the start line. Fortunately, it had a Kickstarter. I started it and went away. So things like that happen. That would have made me livid if I had had to not race that race because of that. So Garrett Anderson, he's considering a Sherco after talking me out of one. Yeah, because you use your Kickstarter all the time. See, but Brady, I don't ever use it except 2 races now. 2 races that thing has stopped working, and I was able to kick it and keep racing. So Brady Metter, I'm sure you carry a shotgun shell in the van and starting a pinch. No, because I don't race my van. I don't race my van, and I've got a phone. I'm generally on a road near something where I can make a phone call and get my van towed. So it's different. Bryce Davis, the lack of option for a kicker makes me concerned about buying a 4-stroke. See, if I and torque line, I would look at Beta over Sherco. I agree. Brady Metter, maybe your mechanic sucks. He's not very good because I don't let Zach work on the bike. If I let Zach work on the bike, it'd be fine. It's like, and that proved to me why I want a Kickstarter on at least my race bikes. Garrett Anderson, the only bike in my garage that doesn't start as a 2-stroke. Why is that? Why doesn't the 2-stroke start? It should. And Roger does have a very good point. The Kickstarter is faster than electric for dead engine by quite a bit. So, same batteries on my 4-strokes, but it's always dead. That's because you never ride anymore, Garrett Anderson. And Jimmy Neihart, mechanic, way too busy making bids. Absolutely. By the way, quick little thing to mention, and then I do have to go and be a mechanic. The secret part that I'm testing, I shot another video about that yesterday. It's sadly a long way off, I think, before I'm going to be able to release these videos. But I'm putting them together. I'm putting them on YouTube and just keeping them private and send them to the manufacturer. But I'm pretty excited about it. I think it's going to be good. When all the guys are on electric start bikes, it don't matter. But I want a Kickstarter and I don't want a crank start on my van. If I cared about dead engine starts, I wouldn't have my Yamaha. Fair enough. The Biker Sasquatch, too busy influencing. I love you guys so much. Oh, you're my favorite. All right. I gotta go. I love you guys so very much. Please continue to give me crap. Jimmy Neihart, I think, worried about me feeling bad and sent me a message asking if it was okay if he breaks my balls. Yes, you guys can give me all the crap you want. It doesn't bother me at all. I love you to death. Brady Better, I love you. asks, when are you starting a fans only page? Why do you think I started growing this mustache out, dude? You guys are, do the test parts have the word? No, they don't. They don't. It's like I said, it's a little ways out, but it's exciting. Punk Rock Club, I love you so much. Thank you for sticking around to the end. You guys are the best. Yeah, I love you guys so much. Have an awesome day. Get out, spread the gospel of two wheels. And as always, I hope that what we're doing here at Highland Cycles is inspiring you to work on, give me crap, do cool stuff, and get out and ride your dirt bikes.